Hello and welcome to Trish Rock Inspires podcast. This is series 8, Frequency First, Then Reality. This is a space for grounded conversations about peace, frequency, and conscious living, and how our inner state quietly shapes the reality we experience. There's nothing to fix here, just space to pause, reflect, and realign. Let's begin. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode 3 of Trish Rock Inspires, when inner peace shapes your reality. Today, we're talking about something foundational and often overlooked: your nervous system. And all I want to say, and I want to say from the start that I'm not here to teach biology or to teach mechanics. I'm here to talk about lived experience, because your life is not being created by your thoughts alone. It's being shaped by what your body believes is safe. And sometimes what your mind also believes is safe. You can have the best intentions in the world. You can understand what you want to change, what you want to shift in your life. And you can even know why things aren't working, and you can still feel stuck. I've been there, and I'm sure many of you listening have been there as well. And that's because the body leads. Long before the mind weighs in, your body is already responding to life, right? Deciding what feels safe, what feels secure, what feels threatening, and what needs to be protected. If your body has learned that life is unpredictable, it will stay on alert, fight or flight. If it has learned that rest isn't safe, it will always stay busy. And I personally know that as well, because I used to wear that badge of busyness. And if it has learned that change equals danger, it will resist expansion, and even if you consciously want it, and it will just stay small. And this isn't weakness, it is protection. Many of us have been living from protection for a very long time. You can also call it survival mode, right? Sometimes since childhood, sometimes since a period of upheaval or change, loss, survival. And when protection becomes your default state, life begins to also mirror that tension and that story. If you're internally rushed, life will feel urgent. If you're internally braced, life will feel demanding. And if you're internally guarded, life might feel heavy for you. This is why forcing change doesn't work long term. It might work while you're starting a shift, starting a change, but long term, those old beliefs, those old structures that your body has learnt will prevent you. They'll kick in and they will prevent that change. So you can't think your way out of a state your body is holding. And this is where the idea of peace becomes deeply practical. A lot of people see that I'm a peace coach, or they see me advocating for peace, and I'm here to bring peace to people. And like I said in my last podcast, a lot of times people believe that peace is the result, it's the end. I've got to earn it, I've got to do the stuff, I've got to be everything first before I can experience peace. But peace really is the cornerstone. Peace is not a luxury. It's not something you wait for once everything else is sorted. Peace is what tells the body it is no longer in fight or flight mode, right? And it doesn't have to fight the moment that it's in. When there's more peace inside you, life begins to feel different. Even before anything external changes. And, this is the whole magic of how to create your new reality, right? Peace within, life starts to feel different. And then you start seeing that difference, that change, that shift out in the external, in the physical. But it all starts in here. And it's not because you're ignoring reality. It's not because you're no longer um, trying to prove that what you are doing is working. It's like you're no longer looking for the validation, but it's because you're no longer meeting these shifts and these changes with resistance. Inner peace changes how you respond to yourself and to life. You begin to pause rather than react. You you begin to soften rather than brace for impact. And you choose more deliberately instead of from that learned pressure or that habit or that story you're holding. And when your responses change, your experiences of life change. The same situations feel less overwhelming. The same conversations feel less charged. And the same decisions feel clearer. And this is how inner peace creates our outer peace. It doesn't happen immediately. It's never perfect. But steadily, you start to see the change. And I want to add here that this is also a change from the 3D way of being to a more 5D way of being, where you are not reacting to situations, you have that calmness, you have that peace, and you're seeing things, from a fly on the wall perspective without the emotional charge. You're seeing people as the beautiful, loving soul that they are, not perhaps, the personality that's coming out. And this starts with your feeling of inner peace. Because when you're less internally rushed, you stop creating urgency around you, right? When you're less defensive, life stops meeting you with friction. And when you're more settled, people respond differently. Yeah. I popped up a invitation to try something the other day on social media, and the invitation was to uh, stay quiet in a conversation for a longer period of time than you normally would. In other words, be at peace with who you are and listen rather than needing to speak immediately, right? The urgency of that, it really makes a huge difference because you're coming into these conversations grounded, peaceful, and with no expectation of any right or wrongness. Yeah. You're coming in with no expectation or no need to be right, to be talking the longest, to be the loudest, to be the one that is being heard. You're coming with no expectation of that. When you are coming from a place of peace, that inner calm, that inner peace, you're showing up as all that you are, and you don't need validation, and life becomes different. So, this is something many of us have noticed without having words for it. Yeah. When you're calm, things tend to flow more easily. And I'm sure you can find at least one moment in your life when this has been true for you. When you're grounded, solutions appear more naturally. And when you're present, life feels more manageable. And if that's not the case for you right now, please close your eyes and just think to a time where that was true for you. Because when you can tune into the feeling of it and know that it's possible because it's happened for you before, then it will become possible again with far more ease. And this doesn't mean that challenges in life disappear, right? Peace doesn't mean that we're just floating around in a sea of happiness all day, every day. No, it means you meet them differently. It means you show up differently. It means you um, react differently to the challenges because peace doesn't remove you from any difficulties, right? It doesn't remove the challenges. It changes your capacity to hold it when it comes in. Yeah. And this is what regulation really means. Not being calm all the time, but returning to that safe place of peace more often in your body, in your nervous system. It's not avoidance, it's intelligence, and your body has intelligence. And when you start to calm down the nervous system and live from a more peaceful space, everything will react differently. Because when your inner world settles, frequency rises naturally without effort, not through affirmations or, you know, uh, trying to push down or ignore any tension in the body or the mind, and not through pushing yourself to be better, to become better, but through safety layered into your way of living. Through slowing down enough to breathe. Through listening to your body instead of overriding it and pushing through it. And through letting moments be just a little less heavy. from that place, energy becomes available again, right? For creativity, for connection, for clarity, for growth. And change becomes sustainable because your body is trusting it. So instead of asking, what do I need to fix? Try asking something simpler. What helps me feel safe, even if it's only briefly? Where do I already feel a sense of ease, even for a moment? That might be a quiet morning, a deep breath, a walk, watching a sunrise, a sunset, being on the beach, being in nature. These moments really matter. They accumulate. The more of these moments you have where you can pause before responding, they matter. And over time, they become your new way of meeting life. And this is where reality begins to shift. Not through force, not through urgency, but through peace, deep peace, a relaxed nervous system, peace in your body, peace in your mind, peace in your heart. So as you move back into your day today, notice where you could choose peace. Not as an escape, but as a way of meeting life more gently. Now, you may not realize this in the moment, right? You may not realize this until the moment's over, and then you reflect back and, wow, I could have chosen peace in that situation. Or when you're lying there at night with those conversations going through your head, like, right, what we do, right? Oh, I wish I had have said this. I wish I hadn't have said that. Ask yourself, where could I have responded in a more peaceful way instead of reacting? Because the awareness, whether you are in the awareness right now or whether you reflect back and become more aware of it, it all starts to fall into place. Because every little awareness and every little action starts to become normal. And you will get to the point where you are in the situation and you immediately, because you're in a state of peace and calm, you're immediately responding to the environment, to the conversation, and you're not reacting. It will become normal. The more awareness and the more practice. So ask these questions. Where could you respond rather than react? Breathe instead of brace. And that's enough. There's nothing to fix. You are enough. And this is an invitation to find more peace within you, within your body, within your nervous system. And I can guarantee you life will start looking a lot different. Thank you for tuning in to this episode, and I will see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Trish Rock Inspires podcast. If you loved this episode, please share, subscribe, or leave a review. It helps reach more people to help them step into their most empowered selves. If you'd like to learn more about the work that I do and how perhaps we could play together, please visit my website at trishrock.com.